morning, everyone. I ask that you all please stand as we have our invocation at this time. Let us pray. Gracious God, we thank you for this day. We thank you for allowing us to be here to see this wonderful occasion. We thank you for your grace and your mercy. We thank you for these students, for their hard work, their dedication for these 4 years. We thank you that the best is yet ahead of them, and the worst is behind them. We thank you for the faculty. We thank you for the staff that have walked beside them, that have journeyed along beside them, as well as the parents and guardians of these students. Now, God, have your way yet even in this commencement ceremony. And we pray that someone will never be the same again, that they leave renewed, they leave rejuvenated, transformed from this very moment. We give you glory, honor, and praise. In Jesus' name we do pray. Amen. You may be seated.
Next, we will have our welcome by the class of 2020, Edward Fisher.
Testing. Good morning, Mr. Adams, Dr. Clark, platform guests, Richard Wright faculty, staff, family, and a special good morning to the class of 2020. Give yourselves a round of applause. My name is Edward Fisher, and it is my distinct pleasure to welcome each of you to the moment many of us thought that would never come. After 12 long years of homework, project exams, nagging teachers, and nagging parents, we thought this was never going to be something that we would see. We could see the finish line, and we could smell the ink of our diplomas. I was ready for what they call senioritis, but it seems like it came here early. Gone were the days shut down of putting out a class, and in came the days of us wearing a mask. Although life as we know it is no longer, what COVID couldn't stop us was this moment. It didn't stop us from our determination, it didn't stop us from our schoolwork, and it didn't stop us from walking across the stage. So secure your mask and get ready for an unstoppable class. Welcome.
We're going to give a special tribute to the late Congressman John Lewis, who was a major partner and friend of Richard Wright Public Charter Schools for Journalism and Media Arts. So at this time, I just ask everybody, we want to salute, we really want to salute the Congressman and just take a moment to acknowledge him.
One day, when the glory comes, it will be ours, it will be ours. Oh, one day, when the war is won, we will be sure, we will be sure. Oh, glory, 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 oh, glory.
Come on, this is a classic. If you tell me you can clap with me, you can sing it with me. Just hold on to your dreams, yeah. Don't give up, don't be big. Although it seems you never win, you will always pass the test. As long as you keep your head to the sky, you can live. As long as you keep your head to the sky, you can live. As long as you keep your head to the sky, be optimistic. If things around you no, you don't have to stop and fall. Just keep pushing on and don't you look back. Don't. And strides cloud up your outlook. Just think ahead and you'll be inspired to reach higher and higher. You'll always be best if you learn to never say never. You may be down, but you're not out, 'cause that's what optimistic is all about. Although it seems you never win, you will always pass the test. As long as you keep your head to the sky, you can win. As long as you keep your head to the sky, you can win. As long as you keep your head to the sky, you know how we say you will win. As long as you keep your head to the sky. As long as you keep your head to the sky. Be optimistic. You can win. As long as you keep your head to the sky. One more time. You can win. As long as you keep your head to the sky. Be optimistic. Thank you, thank you. Just for a moment, as the music director here at Richard Wright Public Charter School, I wanted to acknowledge a few of our graduating seniors who've been committed and been there when we needed to perform and singing day in and day out for family matters, for choir performances and things of that nature. I want to, before I acknowledge those young ladies that have been singing, there are three gentlemen who have been playing with us in family matters on drums. They've been playing percussion instruments, and I also want to acknowledge them as well. Mr. Jordan Hankins has been playing drums with us. Mr. Patrick Williams and Mr. A. John Well. Gentlemen, can you guys stand for me? Thank you for your skills and your talents that you've lended to us throughout this school year. Thank you, gentlemen. There are 5 choir members that are graduating today, sadly, for me. Miss Kirsten Smith, Miss Amaya Williams,
and I'm sorry, Miss Amaya Davis and Miss Michaela Williams. Can you ladies stand for me, please? These three young ladies just recently joined with us here at Wright, and they have done a phenomenal job in lending their voices to us. I do have something for you ladies, so just see me after the ceremony. The other two young ladies I want to acknowledge have been with us since I've gotten here, or since they've gotten here as ninth graders. And they've sang for every performance, they've been at every outing, McDonald's trips to Six Flags, when it was only just the two of them. So I want to acknowledge they've been here, as I said, I've been singing since I've been here in 2014. Miss Lisa Williams and your salutatorian, Miss Princiana Hudson. I'm so sorry. Thank you, ladies. Make sure you see me at the end of the ceremony. I have something for you.
There you go, daughter.
At this moment in time, I ask, this is a great feat, but we ask the number 2 in the class to come to the stage at this time, Ambassador Princiana Hudson. She had the second highest GPA in the entire graduating class.
Hello. I want to start by saying good morning. Good morning, everybody. It's nice to see y'all. It's been a minute. I want to start by thanking everybody that's made it possible for me to get here. And if I forgive you, please don't be offended. It's been a minute. We've been out of school. But I want to start with Mr. Murray, definitely one of the main adults in the building that helps me through everything that's been going on. Mr. Brown, Mr. Casby, Miss Chamberlain, all the teachers, every teacher, your teacher, you know. Staff, Miss Glover, Miss Dr. Clark, definitely, Miss Funderburg, everybody who have been here since the beginning. I've been here since 9th grade, and so I know a lot of people. I also want to thank my main men, Antoine Starks, Deja McCants, and Edward Fisher. We've been in it for a minute, so. But now I'm gonna say my speech. Okay. I think it's safe to say we all are blessed to be here. When was the last time you thought you were gonna see the people around you today? The way I look at it, we are survivors. So many lives, so many black lives have been taken from us, and we're still here fighting to get justice for them. Any obstacle can be prevailed over, and that's all this year has been, a big obstacle. Sorry. Our superpower is knowledge. We have to keep the people in our communities informed of everything that takes place. They hate us for being educated, and that is why we must educate ourselves and each other. We have so many intelligent and talented young people in our generation. Think about just how powerful we really are. Our strength hasn't even reached its full capacity yet. It is our time to make this world a safe place for our people, for our future children. I like to think of this as a checkpoint and not a finish line, because we're never finished. You can never get too comfortable. Continue to expand your mind every day, because the only way you can go is forward. With that being said, congratulations, class of 2020.
Let's give her another round of applause for being an outstanding young lady as well as a student. All right. Now this feat is major. Being the number 1 in the graduating class, that means she has the highest GPA in the entire class. She has been an outstanding student, leader, athlete, and just a well-rounded, great young lady. I ask the valedictorian to join us at this time, Ambassador Deja McCants.
Okay.
So, good morning, family, staff, and the class of 2020. First and most importantly, I'd like to say congratulations to you all on this well-deserved achievement. There are so many people who aren't able to say they've reached this accomplishment, so we should all feel a great deal of pride to do this. On this particular day, we were all brought together for possibly the last time to say our goodbye. Goodbye to our peers, goodbye to our teachers, mentors, and locally, goodbye to our childhood. The last 4 years spent with you all has been rather interesting, to say the least. However, as we all embark on new journeys, I can't help but to appreciate all the memories we share with one another. Whether they be good or bad, we have all watched as the experiences we shared together shaped us into who we are now. And whether we notice it or not, we have all changed greatly throughout the years. It's hard to think that this is the year that we all yearned for so wholeheartedly, and it was taken away from us so abruptly. Without preparation or any warning, the world around us changed almost instantaneously, forcing us to adjust to new societal norms. But we cannot ignore all of the impactful events that have happened around us, and because we have had so much time and so much taken away from us this year, I would at least like to savor this moment and make it about us. Also, honestly, y'all, 2020 whooped our asses, and it's hard. It's hard. But if this year especially has taught me anything, it's that no matter what adversities we face in life, the world is going to keep spinning whether we are prepared or not. And how we overcome these obstacles will reflect on the depths of our perseverance and character. Thomas Edison once said, many of life's failures are people who do not realize how close they were to success when they gave up. Entering adulthood, we will be faced with many difficult challenges day to day. They will pile up on one another, discourage us, throw us off our plans, and undoubtedly knock us off of our feet. However, if there is one thing you should carry with you, it's the fact that nothing good in life will be handed to you. If you want something, the only thing that can stop you from reaching that goal is yourself. Self-motivation will become your greatest asset in life, and with a strong enough will, you can truly overcome anything thrown your way. Finally, I'd like to say thank you to you all. Thank you for dealing with me over the past 4 years. I am well aware that the fact that I was never the easiest to deal with, but regardless of how many times I was kicked out of class or suspended, I was given opportunity after opportunity to prove myself. I would like to think that I took advantage of those chances and hopefully made you all proud. I'd like to thank everyone who had the responsibility of teaching me throughout the years. I'd like to say sorry because honestly, I can't explain my behavior most of the time. Especially my 9th grade teacher. Shout out to Mr. Murray and Mr. Brown because y'all had it the worst and I'm truly sorry. I want to thank Ms. Glover for always giving me a chance to prove myself and for always being there to give advice anytime anyone needed it. Thanks to Mrs. Funderburg for always taking care of me and for genuinely being concerned with my well-being both in and out of sports. I'd like to thank Mr. Malone because although he was rude, he was always there to push me to do better, gave me endless opportunities to get ahead, and was there for all of us whenever we needed him. And I'm sure everyone saw this coming, so I'd like to thank Mr. Singleton. Since I came here in the 9th grade, Mr. Singleton has harassed me into joining the track and field team. But I don't usually admit it, me joining the track and field team is what gave me the courage to become so active in the school. I finally had something to put all of my energy into, and along the way, I was able to build bonds with my teammates that transformed me into a leader. No matter how many times we butt heads, which constantly led me to being kicked off of the track team, he's never treated me anything less than family, so thank you. To the class of 2020, my most sincere thanks go out to you. To think that this is likely to be the last time seeing some of you make this moment much more special. In time, I learned that I'm going some of life's greatest adventures, and will be forced to part ways with those we once shared memories with. As time progresses, new friends will become old friends, and old friends will become family. I'm extremely grateful for relationships I have built along the years, and I cannot wait to see how we all grow into beautiful adults. Once again, congratulations to the graduating class of 2020, and as we close out this chapter of our lives, begin a new one, continue to thrive and take what you want out of this world, because it is ours, and we can do with it as we please. Thank you.
All right, let's continue that applause. Number 1 in the class, congratulations to our valedictorian, Ambassador Deja. Great job. Next, I ask Ms. Glover to come to the stage.
Greetings, Richard Wright family, and congratulations sincerely and wholeheartedly to the class of 2020. Congratulations, ladies and gentlemen. At this time, I'd like to acknowledge some of the most important people in the Richard Wright family, and that is you, the parents, the grandparents, the moms and dads, the uncles and aunts, the big sisters, the cousins, the godmothers, the god sisters, the god brothers, and the neighbors who stayed on you to make this day possible for our graduating class. I sincerely thank each and every one of you for all of your calls, your emails, your tongue lashing, your finger wagging, and even some of your hang-ups when we were trying to settle a dispute. It all pushed us as an organization to be the best that we can for you and your students, and I'm very proud to stand before you today. At this time, I'd like to recognize one parent who has silently but consistently shown her support, love, and dedication for our organization. She has always been there whenever we called. We never had to think twice as to whether or not she would show up, and sometimes she was there even when we didn't expect her. So I would ask Ms. Kimberly Skates to come forward to receive your trophy, mother of Nisa Williams.
At this time, I ask Miss Alicia Funderburg to come up to the stage and announce the sports awards.
Thank you. You know, I call all of you my babies. Hi, babies. Okay. Good morning. As the athletic director, I tell you, it has been a privilege to watch your student athletes give their all these past 4 years. Their dedication to academics and to sport created pride within the halls of Richard Wright. They also helped to create student culture and spirit these last 4 years. Mind you, our student athletes, had to attend school during the day, had to leave campus to go to practice, travel back to the school, and then go home, and still turn in great grades that we did not have to put anyone off of the team due to academics, any team. So I congratulate you again. The motto of the sports teams is simple. What you do in sport, you will do in life. What you start, you must finish. You have to tell yourself that you can do it. No matter if you win or lose, just finish. And every student has followed that motto. Every year, we announce a female and male athlete of the year. At this time, I'm going to ask Mr. Singleton to come up. Mr. Singleton has also been the assistant athletic director. I've been the athletic director. We wear many hats. I'm going to have Mr. Singleton announce the male graduate athlete of the year.
Thank you. Good morning and welcome everyone. Today we have 2 very special sports awards that we want to give to 2 very special and talented athletes. For some people, sports is just a silly game, but the truth of the matter is, for many, many decades, sports has played a major role in our society. It has given us an opportunity, it has given children a hope, and opportunities to millions and millions of young athletes across the nation. For the past 5 years, I've coached multiple sports here at Richard Wright, so I've witnessed firsthand what sports have done to a lot of our young boys and girls. It has turned immature boys and girls into productive young men and women. So today we want to highlight 2 exceptional young people who performed at very high levels, both academically as well as athletically. Now, like many sports speeches tend to do one thing. The message is often simple. It's to motivate, it inspires, and it's uplifting. But this one is also about perseverance. For the first recipient, this young man came to Richard Wright as an 8th grader with unbelievable raw talent. However, he never developed and really performed or displayed his full potential mainly because he had a lot of challenges and a lot of struggles that he wasn't equipped to handle on his own. Some were out of his control, but some were self-inflicted. I remember one evening sitting down having a candid conversation with him, and I really dug into him. And I reminded him of his expectations on campus, in the classroom, and on the basketball court. So for the next week or so, this kid avoided me like the plague when he saw me in the hallways. Several weeks passed, his teachers had indicated to me that he had actually started to turn it around academically. One teacher reported that his grades went up, 2-letter grades, and he really started to show that same dedication and commitment on the basketball court. Second half of the season, he averaged well over 20 points a game, and coaches around the league started to take heed to who this young man was. So it gives me great pleasure to introduce our 2019-2020 Male Athlete of the Year goes to Mr. Tyree Williams.
Yes, Terry. Yes. Come on up, Terry. Come on up and take a picture.
Aww.
Thank you, Mr.
Oh, look at the tank with the mask.
Thank you, Mr. Salutatorian. Now for the Female Athlete of the Year. This young woman has been nothing short of being what every AD and coach desires in a student athlete. She's caring, loving, committed, funny, hard on her own self, truthful about her own self, dedicated to her teammates. As I've seen her play with her glasses on, her glasses off because she done left them at home. She has run relays with a painful knee. She has been affectionately called our gazelle in the building due to her height, her long legs. You can see her all the way across the track. She has been feared by opponents because she is passionate and always wants to win. Volleyball and track for 4 years, basketball team, multi-sport team manager, GPA of 3.7 or higher every year, school ambassador for 4 years, and student government president. Deja McCann, she cannot get up here fast enough. Thank you. And at this time, I just want to roll down the roster and have our other student athletes acknowledged because you, again, have helped to create the student culture and the team. Every charter school feared us, and they had facilities and everything. They still feared us. So here we go. John Algie Hester, football. Stand up when I call your name. John Algie Hester, football. James Boyd, football. Jordan Chambers, basketball. Jalise Day, basketball. Elijah Dorsey, football. Malik Dunn, football. Garrett Ferguson III, football. Edward Fisher, track. Very good athlete, yes. Jordan Hankins, football and basketball. Anisha Lassie, volleyball and track. Darius Lee Coles, basketball. Shaid Lomax, football, track, and basketball. Deja McCann, track, volleyball, and basketball. Daryl Moses Tate, basketball. Jaylyn Robertson, track, volleyball, basketball. Ayana Shreves, cheerleading, because we need those. Mackenzie Stewart, volleyball and basketball. Antoine Stocks, football and track, can throw that shot put out the pit. London Upshaw, volleyball, track, basketball, and cheerleading. Noah Vance, cheerleading. Jaden Ward, volleyball, track, basketball. Lisa Williams, basketball and volleyball. Patrick Williams, volleyball. Tyree Williams, track, football, volleyball, basketball. Edward Williams, III, track, football, basketball. Jasonna Wiseman, cheerleading. Parents, I thank you all for trusting Dean Singleton and Richard Wright and myself with your student athletes, and much success to you all. Thank you.
Hello everyone, how are you? Gosh, I'm just excited about this day. What an auspicious occasion. And I too, like Dr. Clark, commend you for being here for this very special moment for your child, your grandchild, your nephew, your niece, and so on. My name is Leonard Upson. I'm a member of the Board of Directors here at Richard Wright Public Charter School, but I'm also a member of the DMV Athletes in Action. Dr. Clark has a goal to educate all students at the highest level so that they will be prepared to enter college if they choose to go to college. But he wants every student who leaves the Richard Wright Public Charter School upon graduation to qualify and to be prepared for college. The first step for that is the completion of the college application. Our organization has an event each year that we call Get on the Bus. This is where students sit with us after school 2, 3, 4, 5 days, whatever the amount of time it takes to complete what's known as the Common College Black application, so that those students will very early in their senior year be prepared to apply to any historically black college that they choose, if they are colleges that they would want to pursue. On October the 17th, we held this event, and there are students here that we'd like to recognize by awarding them one of our medals that says Get on the Bus. We call it Getting on the Bus, being prepared to go to college, for their effort and participation. As I call your name, please come to Denard over here. He will have the medal for you to take with you. Okay. Jaleese Day. Dejon McCants. John Algie Hester. Anisha Lassie. Malik Dunn. Jasonna Wiseman. And Tyree Williams. And if you'll notice, the two outstanding athletes, male and female, participated in this session, qualified, completed their application. Now, in closing, I'd just like to share a personal note with you. Dr. Clark called me early in May. He said, Mr. Upson, you know, this class is very special to me. They have gone through a lot this year. They endured a lot, persevered, as he indicated, and worked very hard. And they deserve a graduation. Because of COVID-19, we are really challenged in having an indoor ceremony. He said, I need your help so that we can find a place so that they can get the kind of graduation we deserve. He and I called George Washington University, Howard University, UGC, Georgetown, several schools in Maryland, and he finally found this one. He said, Mr. Upson, I got the place for him. So I think he deserves a round of applause for all the time and effort he took in to create this event for you. Dr. Clark, I salute you as well. Thank you very much.
All right, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning, class of 2020. Mr. Malone sends his regards. He could not be here today. And he sent a message that I will be reading directly from him. Good morning, Richard Wright families, staff, distinguished guests, And last but not least, the class of 2020. I am devastated that I could not be here at graduation to physically celebrate this life-propelling occasion in your lives. Yet I am confident in the relationships that we have with each other and extending beyond the walls of Richard Wright Public Charter Schools. Therefore, I look forward to celebrating the next big occasion in your lives, whether it's college graduation, completion of a professional program, or opening your first business. Throughout this year, I asked so much of many of you sitting in this crowd today, including parents and the Richard Wright staff, with my crazy ideas. From hosting a college fair inside the old struggling gym inside the Blue Castle, we are no longer there, to bringing the Right Path to College program to dive deeper into the financial aid process with our families and to give them a fighting chance to comfortably pursue higher education. All of you delivered. That's what I asked, and I could bring good news today that the class of 2020 has accumulated $3.4 million in grants and scholarships from some of our most distinguished institutions and community support organizations across the country. I seen some of you would pay for college and had a rough GPA. However, you all locked in and did your part to achieve your goals. We have a posse scholar, Michaela Williams. That is a full ride, ladies and gentlemen. We also have multiple recipients of the DC College Access Program full scholarship. Chelsea Chukwu. Chelsea Chukwu. Lisa Decote. Anisha Lassie. Jaden Ward. And Miss Anaya Wynn. Numerous scholarships that we put pieces of the puzzle together for in our efforts to get closer to a full scholarship as possible. Teaching these students the importance of avoiding these predatory sources of financial aid and them actually receiving a message is all rewarding that I ever need. Thank you for allowing me to see you blossom and have a great, wonderful day. Thank you.
Everyone, my name is Destiny Whittington. I'm the Executive Assistant and Media Liaison for Richard Wright Public Charter Schools for Journalism and Media Arts, and I'm here to introduce your keynote speaker today. Kennard Jones is a native of Virginia and was a licensed preacher in the gospel in June of 2015 at the age of 17. He currently serves as an associate minister and youth minister at the House of Hope Praise Ministries located in Clinton, Maryland, where Reverend Nelson White serves as the founder and senior pastor. Mr. Jones is a 2016 graduate of Richard Wright Public Charter Schools for Journalism and Media Arts. While he attended Richard Wright, he was an honors student, an athlete, and a vice president, of the Ambassadors Club. He is now a spring 2020 graduate of Virginia Union University, where he earned his Bachelor's of Arts in Psychology. He was a part of various organizations on campus, such as Campus Ministry, where he later founded an organization entitled Saint. He also served as the Vice President of Psychology, National Honor Society of Virginia Union University. Kennard also maintained his spot on the Dean's List while at Virginia Union University. Mr. Jones is a proud member of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated, where he has held various positions. Mr. Jones is currently in the Master's program at Wesley Theological Seminary in Washington, D.C., where he is trying to earn his Master's of Divinity. Kennard believes that there is no greater feeling than seeing lives changed through God's Word. To introduce to you now, your keynote speaker, Kennard Jones.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. This is a great occasion, so you ought to just clap your hands right here. You know what? This is a great occasion, a major moment, so clap your hands at this moment and just get excited about this day. Many people didn't have a graduation, but the fact that you all are here, standing alive in your right mind, that is good enough for us today. All right? I want to first start off and say I am honored to be here to share in the class of 2020's commencement ceremony. I want to give honor to our CEO and founder, Dr. Marco Clark, school leadership, board of trustees, faculty, and staff, and everyone in their respective positions and places. I am a 2020 college graduate. Yes. And I, like you all, didn't see a global pandemic come our way. However, our strength, resilience, and courage has brought us thus far. So many things for you have been canceled: prom, new adventures, and so many things you had desired in 2020. But let me say that on today, what we will not cancel is celebrating you all. So for a few seconds, give yourselves a hand for your endurance and your willingness to not give up. And while you're clapping, I want you to give your parents a hand for being by your side, for sticking by you, for never leaving your side. And while you're clapping, give your teachers a hand. Give the faculty a hand. Come on, y'all. Y'all can do better than that. Come on, give them a hand, you all. Wonderful, wonderful. So class of 2020, here it is. I'm going to be straight up and direct with you all. Let's have a conversation today. Is that okay? In life, you will fail. To be honest, I want you to fail. I know some of you are wondering, in a time like this, how could I be called to give you a word of hope and encouragement, and yet I tell you, I want you to fail. We are living in challenging and uncertain times, so how is it that my word of encouragement is that I want you to fail? Perhaps you're thinking, sir, you should be telling us a message about holding on, never giving up. Corona can't stop us. It's going to be okay. What do you mean you want us to fail? You might be thinking, hasn't our class been through enough? You started off your graduating year with so much excitement. Your senior photos, you ordered your cap and gown, finished that major defense paper that was about 20 some odd pages. Listen, I've been there. I know what it was like. It was no joke. For 4 years you studied and you took challenging tests, took major quizzes, and you worked hard. You went to class. You took pre-calc English, made all kinds of memories that was supposed to culminate into a moment. However, nothing could have prepared you for the test of life, the quiz of uncertainty. Now you are here having to deal with the virus that no one saw coming. Class of 2020, in life, you will experience failure. And the reason why I want you to fail is because I so desperately want you to succeed. Believe it or not, failure is not the opposite of success. Failure is the price tag for success. Let me say it again. Failure is not the opposite of success, but failure is the price tag for success. And life has a unique way of allowing disappointment, rejection, detours, and the unexpected to prepare you for your absolute best. I'm telling you, the thing in your life that feels like failure is actually a gift. It was the great C.S. Lewis who said that failures are fingerposts to the way of achievement. It was Big Sean who said, last night I took an L, but tonight I bounced back. Class of 2020, you are the class of the bounce back. And as I was thinking about you all, I was reminded that most of you were born into tragedy because many of you, if not all of you, were born post 9/11. And now you are graduating in the midst of COVID-19. You have graduated in a place where life seems dark. I'm reminded of this story about this graduate. Can you relate? He is completely blind. He cannot see. That's like some of you right now. Many have been asking you, where do you see yourself in 5 years? And you might be saying you can't see your next step because everything seems so dark. And when you are blind, you're vulnerable, which makes you susceptible to the voices around you. People who cannot see have to rely on the voices around them. And can I tell you, in this season of your life, it is imperative that you have the right voices around you, because the voices around you will affect your vision. Make sure you have voices around you that are going to speak to the purpose, the call, and the destiny that is over your life. I'll never forget, I was in elementary school when 2 of my teachers said that I would fail. But little did those teachers know that I had a village of people who were praying for me and speaking life into me. And now I stand before you as a degreed black man going for my master's and fulfilling the purpose and plan God has for my life. Don't allow people to dictate where you're trying to go in life. Don't allow people to dictate where God is trying to take you. The blind man has an encounter. Here it seemed like the only time that failure was bound to take place, because he gets spit in his eyes. Isn't that nasty? With no type of social distancing going on, he gets spit right in his eyes. You would have thought that this man was healed, but that didn't happen. The divine touched him, and then the divine raised a question. He says, "Do you see anything?" Watch this. The divine fails the first time on purpose, and then asks a question to see if this graduate would be honest about where he was and what he can see. He failed on purpose. This man says, "I see people, but they look like trees." In other words, it didn't work, and the future doesn't look clear. Can I tell you, graduates, it's okay to be upset. It's okay to experience hurt. It's okay to be disappointed about where you may be in life. So much of your senior year was wrecked. However, in times of being upset, just be honest. Don't stop talking about how you feel. If you need to stand up for your education, if your professor is not teaching the way that he or she should, you need to stand up and be the voice for yourself in such a time like this. But what I came to tell you is this is what happens with this blind man. This man gets touched in the second time, and now this man is healed because he was honest the first time. This man now has what we like to call 20/20 vision. He has what we like to call 20/20 focus. You will experience failure, but don't lose your focus. It's okay for you to be mad, but don't lose your focus. Whatever you do, keep your focus. Say it with me. Keep your focus. Come on, I can't hear you. Say it with me. Keep your focus. Keep your focus. I have a little cousin, and he loves to dance. I'll never forget this day that he was doing this dance move where he loves to spin around in circles. It seems like he's spinning around thousands of times. I'm trying to figure out how in the world he keeps spinning and doesn't get dizzy. I'm thinking, isn't he afraid he's going to fall? So then I asked someone, how does he keep his focus when he's spinning around over and over again? They said it's easy. All he has to do is find his spot. They said he finds a spot in the room, something that is stationary, something that will not move. And as long as you fix your eyes on the spot, it doesn't matter how many times you're spinning around, just as long as you keep coming back to the spot, and that is what holds you. Graduates, I know everything seems like it's spinning and the world is going crazy, but don't lose your spot. Keep your eyes fixed and focused on your destiny and where you are trying to go. You have a purpose that you can't see. You have goals that you have not reached. Keep your eyes focused. Class of 2020, I'm finished here. I'm proud of you. I'm proud of this great moment for you. And I want to tell you, you can fail as long as you bounce back and focus on what matters. Thank you all, and God bless. I appreciate you.
Good morning, Richard Wright family. To all of our graduates, the class of 2020, congratulations to you. Take a look around and you'll notice that there is no ABC, no NBC, no BET, no CBS, and surely no Fox. This moment, as Dr. Clark said in the words of Jill Scott Heron, the revolution will not be televised. This moment, though, is being captured on video, but more importantly, should be captured in your mind.
I want you to remember how important this moment is, this fleeting moment, this year of 12th grade, and this moment of your commencement activities today. Not too long ago, when Mr. Jones was up here, he had you to clap for your parents, graduates, to clap for the staff. And I think you can do better than that. Before I make the recommendation, you know that you didn't get here all by yourself. We are celebrating you today. In a moment, we're going to greatly celebrate you. But I want you again to please put your hands together and celebrate your family who is here, the staff who helped you. Come on, there's some of you out there. You know who you are. In the 11th hour, this happened for you. In the 11th hour, this happened for us today. And so I want to do one more thing, and I want to come back to honor where it is due. We know that we are here today because of a great visionary leader, because he had the foresight, knowledge to see this moment, not just this day outdoors, and the only school in the District of Columbia to have an outdoor graduation, but also the founding of this school and its vision and its mission, and sending you out into the world to make your mark around the world. Would you help me, please, and put your hands together for our CEO and founder one more time, Dr. Marco. Dr. Clark, as the principal of Richard Wright Public Charter School for Journalism and Media Arts, I duly recommend to you as the founder and chief executive officer that all of these potential graduates have met the requirements according to the Office of the State Superintendent of Education and the Richard Wright Public Charter Schools Charter Agreement. These potential graduates should be granted all rights and privileges thereto appertaining under the seal of our institution of learning.
I'm going to ask the graduates to stand up for a minute. Stand up where you are. I'm going to ask for a moment before I make this next declaration. I'm going to ask my Board of Trustee members who are here to come up on the stage. Many folks don't know, because you never get a chance to see these folks working behind the scene. But they are responsible for oversight, management. They spend hours, countless time, making sure that they do things and that we are focused on everything that we do. And I want the young people, before I make my declaration, to our Board of Trustees chair, that you know who they are. To my far right, we have Mr. Derwin Ross, who is the Vice Chair of the Board of Trustees. We have our Board of Trustee member, Mr. Leonard Upson. We have our Board Secretary, Ms. Keisha Bisco. And we have our Chair of our Board of Trustees, Mr. Gregory Adams Sr. Mr. Wilson, I accept your recommendation. Now, Mr. Adams, as founder and chief executive officer of the Richard Wright Public Charter School for Journalism and Media Arts, and upon the recommendation of the principal, I duly recommend to the Richard Wright Board of Trustees that all of the graduates have met the requirements according to the Office of the State Superintendent of Education and the Richard Wright Public Charter Schools Charter Agreement. These potential graduates should be granted all rights and privileges thereunto appertaining under the seal of our institution of learning.
Dr. Clark, I certainly appreciate your recommendation and that of the principal. But I'm going to take a point of personal privilege. Graduates, you can have a seat for a moment. I just want to first of all thank my Lord and Savior Jesus the Christ for all of you being here. Let's give the Master of the Universe an applause. Second, some of you may have noticed I took my hat off. Because this is no longer a field. This has been transformed into a sanctuary. Okay? This, when you walk into a certain location, you have to take your hat off. Because we all been trained that way. Now, whether or not we follow it's another story. Now, once I'm done, I'm putting the hat back on. Okay? But right now, this has been transformed into a sanctuary. Second thing, second person I want to acknowledge is that of Dr. Marco Clark. He deserves another round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Third, I'd like to applaud his team of professionals that were there with you every day, your children every day. You argued with them, you complained, you talked to your parents, you talked to your friends, some of which are now enemies about these people. But these people are the reason that you were able to graduate. Let's give them a round of applause. Last but certainly not least are the parents. The actual mothers and fathers, the actual grandparents, the actual uncles, Miss Jones, Miss Smith, Miss Shakita, whoever it was, Boo Boo, and all the rest of them that spoke into your children's lives. Let's give them a round of applause. I got to go back to Dr. Clark before I give a finalization. Dr. Clark had a vision over 10 years ago, and he shared it with me. And I had no idea that 10 years later I'd be standing here before you. But he had such a vision of sharing and people and educating the uneducated, because some of you may not know, they told Dr. Clark he just could not read, he just could not be educated, he just was going to fall into the gutter of many of our friends and families that we've had. But God had another plan for Dr. Clark. If you notice, a lot of you look at him just as a tough principal. Some of you look at him as doc, some of you looking at him as employer, some of them, you've heard some bad stories by your children about him, how tough he is. Some of you look at him as a family man. Some of you look at him as a friend, a great fraternity brother. Hang out, sports fan. But I happen to know Dr. Clark a little differently, which made this all possible. First and foremost, Dr. Clark is a man of God. It is God. Let's give God a round of applause, because God's the one that influenced him. This wasn't his idea. He was the conduit. Okay, but I'm not going to make this church. I just said a sanctuary. So finally, 3 years, we're about to enter our third school in 10 years. In 10 years. And it's been so symbolic, I can just break it down to you real quick. Here it is. Benning. We were on the first floor and we had the basement. Then we went to the Blue Castle. The Blue Castle, we started on one floor. Then we grew to having 2 floors. Now the new school is having 5 levels. 5, the number of grace, okay? That means we're going up. We just signed a 25-year agreement. We got a home, y'all, for 25 years. The good news for y'all is y'all made it out. The great news is that people that are coming behind you are going to have another facility. Let's give them a round of applause. And now I'm ready with my part. Thank you for allowing that point of personal privilege. Dr. Clark, on behalf of the Richard Wright Public Charter School for Journalism and Media Arts Board of Trustees, we accept your recommendation as the Chief Executive Officer to all the members of 2020 graduating class. And you certify they have all duly completed necessary requirements for graduation. As chairman of the trustee board of the Richard Wright Public Charter School for Journalism and Media Arts, we accept this class to be confirmed as graduates with all the rights and privileges hereunto pertaining on this day, August 7th, 2020, Congratulations, you are now graduates.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, students of all ages, I now wait no longer to present to you the Wright Public Charter School for Journalism and Media Arts, Class of 2020. John Algie Hester. Kimani Bowden. James Boyd. Azane Brad. Imani Brown. Terrell Butler. Chelsea Chukwu. Janae Day. Amaya Davis. Markeith Davis. Jaleese Day. Lisa Decote. Elijah Dorsey. Malik Dunn. Garrett Ferguson III. Edward Fisher II. Deja Gatlin. Jordan Hankins. Kiara Holmes. Nina Holmes. Princiana Hudson. Kanaya Jones. Anisha Lassie. Lakeisha Leach. Veronica Leach. Darius Lee Cole. Shaheed Lomax. Deja McCants. Adaya Melton. Shamia Peterson. Raquel Reese. Jalen Robinson. Aaliyah Robinson. Reginald Shepard. Avriana Shreve. Shadonna Schuler. Kirsten Smith. Mackenzie Stewart. Antoine Stocks. Chantel Switzer. Aaliyah Thompson. London Upshaw. Noah Vance. Jaden Ward, Ajan Weddle, Edward Williams III, Michaela Williams, Nisa Williams, Shamaya Williams, Tyree Williams, Patrick Williams, Autumn Willis, Josana Wiseman, and Sanaya Wynn. Thank you, class of 2020. It has been a pleasure to serve you. And now, a word from our founder and CEO, Dr. Marco Clark.
All right. Can I have all of our graduating students to stand up, please? At this time, family, I'm going to ask you all to be seated for a minute. Just ask them to please stand where they are. All right. You can put your diplomas down. You can put those on the seat. Because we're going to make this thing official. So that now you all can go out into the world and be positive change agents and change what's not being shown on the news every day. And I don't know about you, but I'm tired of hearing about Donald Trump. So I want to hear, so today this is my good news. This is the station that I'm on, Station Graduate. Station 2020 Graduate, Richard Wright Public Charter Schools for Journalism and Media Arts. Listen, this is the last time that we'll ever, and you'll probably have to hear these boring speeches from Dr. Clark. I promise you I won't ever say these things again, but it'll resonate in your mind. Because I want you to go on out in the world, and no matter what you felt, no matter what you've done, remember what you've learned. And when you walk out of these gates, and everybody that asks you, you tell them what we did at Richard Wright Public Charter School. You let them know that we always did that triple L thing. You tell them we said what? We taught what? And we did it all in the name of, we did it because we love you and we just could not give up on you. But the question was, would you give up on yourself? You didn't have to say a thing because the answer to that lied in your behavior. Because we looked at your what? To see exactly where you were coming from. And I need you to say it so loud enough that we're going to be thankful that everybody in every community around here can hear you say it. Everybody say good, better, best. Don't you ever let it rest. Till your good is your better and your better is your best. You can do it. You just have to put your minds to it. Class of 2020, you were worth all of the headaches that I had to make this happen. Family, you were worth all of the calls that we got and all of the emails. All of these young people mean a lot to us. I want you to know that we are still a bridge for them and a bridge for them as they move forward in their lives. We want them to make sure that you know that we are always there for you guys, and we hope nothing but the best for each and every one of you. We love you and we care about you. Now, here's the great part. Take your right hand, grab that tassel. Hold on to that tassel. Savor that moment. Turn to your parent and say, I love you. Savor that moment. Now, I want you to take that tassel and I want you to turn it to the left. Because you are now official graduates. You have a high school diploma. I want you to remain standing, so we have something special to do on our way out. Family, I ask if you do me a favor. We want to make sure we create and continue to have a great relationship with the Tacoma Park Academy. We salute them for working with us and supporting them. So I'm asking you to do me a favor. On your way out, if you had any trash or anything, please make sure that you take it with you. I don't want to have a bad relationship the first time that we connect with this great school. And I'm thankful to them for coming to us and working with us in our time of need. Mr. Murray, can we sing this together? Students, one last time, sing it loud too. Come on. Hold up, stop it 1 second, stop it 1 second. Michaela, Amaya, come here for a minute. All right. I can't sing and nor am I going to embarrass myself. So I do want y'all to just help me lead it. And I'm a fake like I know. So just get them started. Can y'all do that? All right. So let's grab one. Come on, we're going to sing it together. This is going to resonate with you. Trust me. Is it on yet? Is it on? It's on. All right, come on. Yo, let's go. Here we go. Come on, crowd. Come on, you guys. Come on. Congratulations, class of 2020. Have an amazing, amazing day, you guys. Please get home safe. We enjoyed you. Thank you, family. All right.